Hey guys, Jen here with Serenity Hill Farmstead. Ignore my desk. I live here. This right here is my farm in a box. Last year, we started an herb farm. We've been growing for years. We've been growing for 12 years, 11 years, I don't know, over a decade for our own families. But, you know, having the land that we have, and if you guys don't know that whole story, I have many videos you can go check out. Seeing our land, seeing our journey. We bought 10 acres of raw land from scratch. It was in a preservation program, and we had to wait for it to expire a few years. So now that program, it has expired out of that program, we are able to do whatever we want with it. And God has led us to start an herb farm. And it's super exciting. Not just any herb farm though, it is a medicinal herb farm. Herbs have been something in our life that has helped us get control back. I want to be clear, I am not anti-allopathy. I am actually very for allopathy. Allopathy, in case you don't know, is modern medicine. It's Western medicine. I believe after a career in emergency medicine that allopathy and homeopathy should work together. Homeopathy is preventative. It also treats in acute situations. It treats in chronic situations. But there comes a point when modern medicine needs to step in on occasion. Super emergent situations, surgical situations, you know, respiratory emergency, cardiac. There are things that herbs cannot do. But once you've gotten through that emergency, there's a lot of things herbs can do to help you not get back there again and to help you heal. Children are playing video games. It's screen time and it's mommy filming time. So the occasional yells, that's what that is. So I may not plant every single one of these this year. I am very much listening to my land. I am listening to my farm. I am seeing what's going to go where. There are certain things we need to get established. Certain big plots, like we have oats, because milky oats is a big herb for us. So we're doing fields of it. And there's certain, you know, we have a red clover field out there also. So there's certain things that we're really going to focus on long-term and perennial that need to get established. And you're going to have to excuse my breathing and occasional coughing. Still getting over COVID. Let's talk about all of the herbs that we have here that we are going to be starting, and sprinkled in here are some things that we may be starting. I definitely want to start in the future, so I just got excited and got the seed. Okay, first, this is one that I had last year that I did not start. This is white horehound. Horehound, I'm not going to tell you what everything is for because we would be here all day if I did that. But horehound is really known for sore throats, like horehound cough drops, things like that. Oh, let me get in here. The Jerry oats. This is milky oats. So we've got oat tops and then the oat straw. Like there's different parts of this plant that you can use. I have 3 of these bags. Yes, ma'am. I have 3 of these bags. All right, moving right into the next one. We have meadowsweet. We have hyssop. This is kind of invasive. It grows everywhere. This is my top respiratory for us in our bodies because herbs work different in different people's bodies. Hyssop is a staple. Like this is one of, I made a COVID tea. This is very, very heavy in it. And it is wonderful. When I'm having issues with my asthma, I feel it work. It's amazing. I can talk about it in another video. Echinacea. Stevia, because I love it and I want to make a stevia tea. I have a friend of mine who made a tea with her homegrown stevia and she swears it's just the most delicious tea. And I like stevia. Some people don't like stevia, but once you get used to stevia, especially homegrown stevia, it is delicious. And I don't even use sugar unless I'm baking, cooking. I will use cane sugar, but if I'm just putting like, you know, a teaspoon of something in my coffee, or usually I use raw honey in my tea, but I'll use stevia and it's really, really good. So St. John's wort, lots of this. This grows wild on our property, but it is sporadic. Like it's everywhere and I'm not going to go hunting for it. So that can just stay wild where it's at. I'm going to purposefully put a nice row that I can manage of St. John's wort, and I've got a few of those. Helichrysum, this is because I have the means to make essential oil. I have a still, I have a copper still, and my sole purpose in growing Helichrysum is not a farm purpose. This is not a commercial purpose. I'm not trying to sell this, people. I'm trying to make this for my family because I have a couple family members that hurt themselves regularly, and one, I'll let you guess which one, does not go to the doctor to get the stitches when the stitches are probably required. So this Helichrysum is known as liquid stitches. I am definitely going to be making all the Helichrysum that I possibly can because this is an expensive essential oil. It's like $75 for a tiny little bottle for good stuff. Elecampane, this after the root here. And this is one that I'm going to be growing a lot of too. That's a key respiratory herb for us also. Spilanthes, best thing in the world for toothaches. Saved me during 2020 when nothing was open and I needed a root canal. Of course, that's when I need my first root canal. Spilanthes, it was a lifesaver. So definitely, that is definitely in my dental preps also. Tulsi. So I have many different kinds of Tulsi because I want to experiment here. How many different types of Tulsi are there? How many do I have? Oh, I have moringa. That is totally an experiment also. We're going to put that in the high tunnel. See what it does. So we've got Amrita Tulsi, Rama Tulsi, Vana Tulsi. There's more Rama because Rama is usually when you buy Tulsi, say from Frontier Co-op or Mountain Rose Herbs or whatever, this is what you get is Rama Tulsi. When you talk about medicinal Tulsi, that's usually the go-to. Hibiscus roselle. This does not grow perennial in our zone. This is definitely a 120 day garden annual. I'm starting these now, and then I'm going to use our high tunnel as a, extend the season, what they're for. So we're going to see how that goes. Andrographis, ashwagandha, we're after the root here. Very, very, very important herb. Does a lot of great things. We use it daily in our house. Astragalus, that's known for its immune boosting properties. More elecampane, more stevia. Marshmallow. So many great things about marshmallow. It's great for respiratory. It's great for digestion. It's just marshmallow. Plant you some marshmallow. More hibiscus roselle. I have a dream of having an entire high tunnel just of hibiscus roselle because they're beautiful and because they're super medicinal. That is when you were talking about medicinal hibiscus, it's roselle that you want. Different hibiscus are edible, but the super medicinal one is the roselle. Okay, this one I'm super excited about, and it's kind of scattered all over because I did not organize this pile, clearly, before I got on here, but that's okay. Butterfly pea flower. Now, when I'm getting medicinal seeds, you probably guessed, this is my go-to, strictly medicinal seeds, okay? I like the practices. They're very affordable. They're growing practices, they're harvesting practices. This is who I like to use. Butterfly pea flower, they did not have. So this is for hormonal uses, for balancing hormones. This is great. I'll talk more about this in another video, but this is fantastic. And it's so cool. You've probably seen TikToks and shorts and reels and things, depending on where you're at, about butterfly pea flower. This is the tea that is blue, and then you add, actually a couple different things do this, but this is the one that's gained the most popularity recently. Did I say that right? The most popularity recently. When you add a acid to it, like lemon juice, it turns pink. It's just cool. It's just cool. But it tastes delicious. Butterfly pea flower tastes delicious, and it's super beneficial for women's health. So, more spilanthes. I threw this one in here because I bought this last year. No, 2 years ago. This is 2019, and these seeds need to be used up. So, if you're new here, we have a backyard homestead, and then we have a farm 10 miles away. This is going to be full of plants because it's also beautiful. I mean, look. It's going to be full pots, and I'm going to put pots all over the place because I want to preserve a ridiculous amount of spilanthes. So I'm going to do it. Cornflower is the next one. I'm going to do big, long, 50-foot long rows of cornflower. Mullein. Mullein is something I plant every year. Mullein has different purposes for different years. You get after the root for mullein. You use the leaves. You use the flowers for mullein in the second year. Mullein is fabulous. I will always and forever plant mullein. Again, key respiratory herb. Lemon balm. Lots of uses here. More lemon balm. We have catnip. One of our top herbs for a digestive blend. Valerian is a top herb for our sleep assist. Fun fact about valerian, it makes some people hyper. Not a whole lot of people, it's kind of rare, but valerian is known, I think people just, oh, valerian, oh, that'll help you sleep, that'll knock you out. There are some people that it actually has an opposite effect in. Calendula, big bag of calendula, doesn't look like it, but it is. It's a big bag of calendula. This is also going to be a 50-foot row, and I have a couple of those. Poppy, California poppy. I've never grown this one before. I'm so excited. I'm just gonna stop and picture for a minute these three. The cornflower, no, it's gone now. Oh, there it is. Oh, 50-foot row of the cornflower, a 50-foot row of the calendula, and a 50-foot row of the poppy. How beautiful will that look? I'm so excited for this. Hops is the next one. I already started this. I already did a video on this about cold stratifying these. These need 90 days to cold stratify, and I was late. So we'll see how these do. If this does not work this year, the whole thing that I should have done with it, I should have direct sown it in the fall like you would with garlic. But, you know, life happened, so it didn't happen. And I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do with it at that point in time. We'll see. We'll see. If this does not work, I will direct sow in the fall. And we'll have hops next year. Skullcap. There are different kinds of skullcaps, and I've got all of them, again, because I'm experimenting. This one is official skullcap. This one is Huang Quinn skullcap. Hope I said that right. I've got multiple chamomile, because I love chamomile, probably. Oof, I can't list favorite herbs. I can't do it. But it is one of them. It is one. I would say in the top 10. It would definitely have to. Probably my top 5. Chamomile is the best. Solomon seal. And this one is actually going to be on the edge of our forest. We've got very dense forest. There's a lot of acres still of forest. And there are several herbs that actually prefer to have that kind of dappled light or to have the cover of forest. So this will be one of them. And I've got a couple different kinds of ground cover that are probably just going to take over in those areas. That'll be like under trees and things like that. So it'll be really cool. We're going for a permaculture farm. This is not going to be like your super well manicured straight line road farm. Permaculture is a big part with herbs. You can't just grow, like I mentioned, having like a big row of poppies, a big row of calendula, a big row of cornflower. Yeah, that's 1 year. That's 1 year. I would not do that more than 1 year. By putting certain types of herbs together in the same class, in the same family, you open it up to problems and pests. It's the same reason why rotational gardening, when you're vegetable gardening, is so important. Because if you plant the exact same thing in the exact same spot every single year, you deplete your soil, you open the door for pests and problems. You just don't want to do that. And it's the same thing with herb farming. But permaculture, so many herbs are perennial. Permaculture is how you get around that. Permaculture is how you can keep one crop, like our Solomon seal, can stay in that one spot, and we don't have to worry about it as much because there's other things moving around it and planted next to it that'll work with it and that will help fight against certain pests and certain disease and still feed the soil in other ways. I have a love for permaculture, and I'm super excited to implement it with these. This is what we got left. Let's get through it. Okay, we have blue vervain. We do have a vervain that grows wild there, but it is not blue vervain. So we're going to plant that purposefully. Yerba Santa. Some of these, there's a couple of these coming up here. We'll talk about them in a second. More mullein. See, I told you I did not organize these. Uva ursi. So I have never planted this. I have always bought this. I am told that this takes a while to germinate. Like a while. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to put it in a pot. We'll see what happens. Another uva ursi is very, very good with urinary health. And I got introduced to this herb when I had kidney stone issues in December. Now I've had kidney stone, we'll see in my hair. I've had kidney stone issues for a while, but I've never had an issue with a stone that I can't pass. Personally, I think it's just part of my autoimmune disease, and that's just life for me, and that's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but what are you gonna do? We take our herbs is what we do. But this one was very, very helpful. I have a tincture blend and a tea blend that both have those in there. It's a very important herb for me. So I am definitely growing as much of that as I possibly can. Fennel, yerba mansa. This is another Tulsi. This is the other, oh, there's a couple more Tulsis. Okay, we've got more of the Tulsi Ramas that I mentioned before, Tulsi Rama. And we also have Tulsi Krishna. And then we have, where's the last one? Tulsi Temperate. So the reason I got all of the different types of Tulsis, and Strictly Medicinal Seeds has like a Tulsi pack that you can get, is because I wanted to experiment with what is going to work the best in my area. In my specific little microclimate. Our farm has this really weird, really cool microclimate. Like here, it would be, we still have snow on the ground. There we don't. And here it's super windy. There's no wind. It's very strange and very cool. So I wanted to experiment with it and just see what's going to grow best in what. I'm going to do some in different areas. Again, with the whole concept of permaculture, we do some Tulsi here, some Tulsi here, some Tulsi there, some Tulsi in the high tunnel. We play around. We see what works best for our farm. More official skullcap. Self-heal. This is another creeping ground cover that we're going to plant. It is, again, wild on our farm, but self-heal is a great herb to have on hand. And I want a purposeful patch that I can actually manage myself. Now, this last one, if you live in the Midwest, you're rolling your eyes going, why are you planting that? Because I don't have a single nettle on my property. I have almost 11 acres. There's not a single nettle to be found. There's even a wetlands area in the back. Not a single nettle. None. So I'm planting nettles. Yes, on purpose. Yes, as an herb farmer, you manage it. But nettles are important. Nettles is a top herb also. So important for so many different things. I mean, even culinary-wise, nettles are fantastic if you handle them correctly with good gloves, because they sting. Yeah. And that is our herb farm. I don't even know how many herbs that is. So I have already started planting things. Obviously, it is the second day of spring. It is March 21st, right? Yes, it's March 21st. And I have already started some things. There's still a lot that I have to start. I am behind because COVID. So I'm doing a little bit more each day. And we will have a full herb farm this year. I'm so excited. This has been so many years in the making. And it's so exciting to see everything coming to fruition. So if you want to keep up with the journey and see how everything goes and learn a lot about growing herbs, how to grow them, what to do, what not to do, you're going to learn through my mistakes. And the things that I have learned over the years, I'm absolutely going to share here. Always want to give that information, especially with herbs. I feel like there's so much. Anybody can Google anything about tomatoes, and you can learn everything and anything about tomatoes, onions, like all the vegetables. You could learn all of that. When it comes to herb growing, there's not a whole lot of information out there. So I want to give you everything that I have learned through this, that I am learning, because I'll tell you, herbs have done wonders for our family. And I'm not going to go through all of that testimony now, but I will tell you, there's a couple members of our family that would not have super productive lives, me being one of them, if it wasn't for herbs and finding the right balance and what works and does not work for me. So if you are looking for more herbal information, you want to learn more about medicinal herbs, how they work, not just individually, but how they work together, how they work for you, how you can still utilize Western medicine, you can still use allopathy, and you can still firmly be rooted with natural medicine and homeopathy. This is definitely the channel for you. And also the website. I have a website with all of that information, free printables. I have all sorts of really exciting things coming over there too. So go ahead and hit that link in the description box and you can go sign up for that. Everything's free. I will not spam you. It's just great free information. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you're really excited to get growing this year. I know I am. Yay. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.